Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I am Jeff.
And we just watched the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Well, we did, but we also watched the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Which is way more exciting than the Screen Actor Guild, Guild Awards.
It was fine. That was good.
It dragged. It really did. I like it because it's 2 hours, but it felt like longer than the Globes.
It really is as though actors had a corporate retreat.
It really was. Like, you guys, let's talk about the union and acting. Like, I couldn't even listen to Fran Drescher.
And you two come up with a sketch you can do, okay? Like, we'll do like a talent show almost.
The bits were not bidding.
They were not.
They were just so cheesy and bad. And I was like, what is happening? Who wrote this? It was just not good.
Yeah.
It was not good. Even Gab was like, "Meow, that was horrible."
For those of you who don't know, Jeff is insanely into award shows for acting
We've
and
talked
movies.
about it.
I think we have.
Yeah, I'm an award season period. Yeah.
Award season. Well, you're not like a Grammys person.
Right.
You do watch them.
Well, I feel award season to me is like the
movie stuff.
Yeah.
So So we're gonna have some good money on the Oscars next week.
This is next week. Yeah.
So if you want to talk to us about the Oscars, you leave us a comment. You can email us, follow us. We talk about things more than just Housewives.
We've seen all the films now. We watched our last film, I'm Still Here, yesterday, which is great. Better than I thought it would be, actually.
Yeah, it was about what I expected it would be.
Yeah, I didn't know it was based on a true story.
Once I stopped thinking it was the Alzheimer's movie, then I was like,
That's
okay.
still Alice. How many times do I say it's still Alice?
I know. Hold on, let me keep talking.
Yeah, which was a fine movie and won Julianne Moore.
I never saw. What? That's why I get it confused with I'm Still Here. I never saw it.
Oh man, that's funny. No, it was not that.
Yeah.
I'd say my top 3 films, if anyone's asking.
I don't think that they were. I thought we were to change the subject. But yeah, let's talk about it. No, I'm totally kidding. What are your top 3?
I'd say Wicked, Honora, and Conclave.
Really? Wicked?
Yeah, I think Wicked's of the 10.
I have a hard time
favorite.
putting Wicked into like the top, like the best film of the year.
It was a great film. I don't think it deserves to get the Oscar for Best Picture, and will not. That'll go to Honora. Although this interesting kind of upset with Conclave, but still, it's not going to be enough because Honora won the PGA and the DGA. But I really liked Wicked.
Yeah,
I thought it was very entertaining, made me very emotional at the end, and Cynthia and Ariana are great. I loved Honora. It was very funny and chaotic. And I love Conclave. It was just like so well written. It came from a book, right. And it was very. I can understand why it won the SAG because, as I was saying to you, it's very actory. Like there are a lot of monologues and a chance for actors to act.
Right, a lot of scenery to chew.
Yes, very much so.
To speak.
And like the costumes, and it felt like it could have been like a play or something.
My whole thing with Wicked being like a great, like it was just too polished. Like I want a little bit of grittiness in my best films. And I think they all have that, except for Wicked just being too polished. It's probably what I didn't like about. I think I'm just not.
Probably Wicked and Dune. They were more.
Oh yeah,
exactly. They were more popcorn movies,
right? And I don't expect those to make it into the Oscars. I know a lot of people do, and I don't think that just because it's a polished mainstream movie, it shouldn't be considered. I just don't think it's just hard to see the accomplishment when there's so many special effects on top of it. I think
right.
Really what the difficulty.
That's true.
But I think for a lot of people, they say, especially people in the industry who know what they actually had to go through to film all that, like that's very much an accomplishment.
Especially a musical too,
right.
Like just what it takes, and a lot of times they're not always done right, especially a modern musical. So, I think they really they did it very well, and set themselves apart from the stage version.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
No, which is also a difficult thing to have done as well on their own.
Okay.
So, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I feel as though the award season this year, because you've taken me like from point A to, from start to finish with it, I feel like it's going to be a very predictable Oscars at this point, but...
I don't know. Well, we saw Best Actor. Now it's a toss-up. It really is.
Be interesting. I'll be interested to see what the Little Gold Men podcast has to say about that.
They were predicting Timothy.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, but it totally could have gone to Adrian. I think Adrian ultimately, I want him to win, but it could go either way. So.
Especially after Timothy's little bit of a douchey speech.
So douchey.
Like, it's one thing to like want to be the best and like to, I want to go down in the history of Hollywood as being one of the greats. But to say that out loud in a speech, it's a little cocky. It's a little entitled.
Like, I aspire to be a goat.
Right.
Basically. And it's like, that's something you say to your friends, your family. your acting teacher.
Yeah. I think that's also the sort of thing when you're young, especially if he does win the Oscar for that role, he'll be the youngest, you were telling me, the
Best
youngest
actor,
recipient of the Best Acting Award.
Which used to be Adrian when he won Pianist.
Oh, that's even worse.
Right?
Slap in the face.
It is.
Timothy's taking his glove off. But yeah, I mean, it just seems the sort of thing where, yeah, it's the sort of thing where when you're a kid and you're like, when I grow up, I want to be blah blah blah, and people are like, yeah, kid, it's not as glamorous as you think it is, you know,
or not as easy,
right? And so to have him be saying that, they're like, okay, kid, sure, you know, yeah, it seems a little weird,
yeah,
but.
Anyways.
But yeah. You want me to make the intro back to Potomac?
Oh, I was trying to sweep it back around. I don't know.
I can't think of any reason.
Oh, by the way, love Demi and glad Demi won.
Oh, Demi, yeah.
Demi is, yes, I totally want her to win the Oscar.
I'm really glad everyone who did win won.
Yeah, I think I'm
glad Timothy won. I don't want to, you know.
I mean, it's all of them were deserving in that category, you know. I want Coleman to win one day. Or one year, because he's a really good actor.
Oh, yeah. We haven't
seen Sing Sing, but we saw Rustin last year, and he was great in that. He's just like, and also that
miniseries, that series, it's pretty good.
So, but the other three acting categories were pretty much like those were set in stone. So now won't he will be the actor. So,
are we gonna have to split our vote on our Oscar ballot? So,
you know, we've done that before, and like
it never works.
Well, one of us does end up winning, though. It's not like it's gonna go like Sebastian Stan.
I don't know. You don't know.
No, I know. Anyways, back to Potomac.
So the best Oscar goes to Mia. No.
I mean,
that's the whole loop back around. Actually,
Mia.
The best Oscar should go to Wendy.
Wendy was the star of this reunion.
Yeah.
Like last week and this week, she's just like, I'm not taking crap. And it's like, I can be your friend and still call you out, which I think is a sign of a good friend. Because like, I always wondered, you know, she and Mia are very like friendly on social media. And even like tonight, you know, she kept saying like, as your friend, I'm not accepting this lie and I'm going to call it out. And it's like, that's something good. It's like, I'm not doing this to like as in a gotcha moment. I'm just saying like, look, Mia, like I like you, we're friends, but I can't like just sit here and like blindly just like nod. And you know, even Jacqueline was like made faces like, Mia, no, you know.
I don't know. I feel like it's happened in the past with Jacqueline where she uses the reunion as an opportunity to kind of get back at Mia. Like she all season
every
long,
opportunity Jacqueline will take.
All season long, she's been like, Mia is great, Mia is wonderful, but you know, at the reunion, she's just kind of like, well, I have seen Mia be a little inconsistent. You know, she kind of starts to pick on Mia a little bit.
Yeah,
she doesn't go too far. Like I think she still kind of toes the line of like supporting Mia's story, but at the same time, she's like, you know, but now that you ask me, it was kind of a crappy thing to do.
I remember, the year where they were all wearing blue. I think it's Mia's first reunion, maybe, possibly, can't remember. But Jacqueline came out and they definitely were not friends anymore, and like she was definitely like, I'm gonna get you,
right,
kind of thing. So I feel like they have a very delicate friendship where like at any minute it could be like, we're best friends, I love you, you're my sister, to like, I'm gonna just drag you. And I felt like at this time Jacqueline was like, I could go there, but I'm tired, I'm pregnant. So I'm just going to sit here and be like, well, Mia's not a liar, but she doesn't lie to me. But, you know, the thing is, Mia's story is very confusing. We've talked about it before. You don't know what's true or not. I'm sure there's been many lies. I don't necessarily care.
Yeah.
You know, people like on social media, like really just come at her hard, or like they want her to be fired and they hate her so much. But I'm like, she hasn't really done anything to me.
I was about to say, where are you going with that? No, but
anything for me to be like, you are the worst of the worst, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I'm lying with the purpose of like hurting people, a la Phaedra season 9, lying about Candy and the sex dungeon. Like, it's not like I'm trying to like tear you down. It's more like, I'm sure she is trying to create a story, stay on the show, you know, put out her point of view and curate it. And, you know,
I mean, but it's also not more than, you know, her role models on the show have ever done. I mean,
exactly.
Gizelle's done it. Karen's clearly been doing it. Ashley does it, so it's like, why wouldn't she feel
right? Just all of all people, it's like you always wear your producer hat. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and like listen to you like berate someone and be like, you're lying and you're spinning this. It's like, not that she necessarily lied, Gizelle, but she definitely wants what she wants shown to the point where she doesn't even like to cry. Like, she's like, no, I don't want to talk about that. I want to cry. It's like, you are not totally being 100% authentic in this show. You never have been any season. So you're authentic with your children for sure.
You're saying Gizelle or Mia at this point?
Gizelle.
Okay.
You're authentic with your children, but like anything else aside from that like great relationship that we see with her kids, I don't buy it, you know. So and she definitely likes to move people and lie about husbands. So I'm just like, you need to climb down off the high horse, Gizelle.
Yeah.
Because no.
Because what Mia's thing, you're right. I don't really care about what she's doing. It's like, yeah, it is, you know, disheartening to see more manipulation going on, especially on Potomac after last season, where that was kind of one of the problems.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, right, it doesn't really matter. If Mia comes back next season and doesn't do that and has an actual storyline, fine, cool. You know, we'll be happy with it.
Well, it's funny when
I didn't intend to like. It sounds like we're coming really hard to defend Mia, which is not Yeah, I'm very meh about it.
Benign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like,
Yeah, I find her entertaining. She's not my favorite housewife, but I also don't like a pylon.
That did feel very pylon. It started making me wonder, like, especially because Gizelle was just, nope, you're lying, and like just trying to repeat it over and over and over. Like, if
I say it loud enough and I like out-talk you, it's true.
Right.
And everyone else was chiming in, and it's like,
it was a pylon. And I mean, that's probably what they're sensing as well. And they're not dummies. They knew that this wasn't, 100%. Something was fishy there.
Right. They weren't giving, I feel like it's the whole thing of like, I'm doing everything I can and I'm giving 100% and I'm trying to portray my real life. And you're like making a mockery of it as much as you can with Housewives. Right. And not doing your part by being true to yourself.
Right.
But I don't think everyone is necessarily always being true. There's a lot of like, this is what I want shown. This is what I'm going to give, and I'm going to hold back some things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm not here to defend Mia. I don't like a pylon. I don't like anyone calling anyone a terrible mother. Everyone's a good mother on Housewives, okay? You're not putting your kids in harm's way. They're not being abused.
Right.
Should they have heard that conversation? No. On camera? No. But like, I don't think that makes her a bad mother. And for Gizelle to say that, it's just like, don't go there, man.
And to go there so harsh.
But
like,
Mia also
so
should have gone there about Giselle's daughters. Like, that was just horrible too. So that's why it's like, you leave kids alone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, also, but what did Gizelle expect would happen? Like, she was being really, really harsh and very sharp with me.
Very sharp.
You're a horrible mother.
Yeah.
And it's like, it makes it seem like she's just being a horrible mother all the time. Like that one thing, which there may be more things, who knows, but like that one thing that they're talking about doesn't make her like evil to the core,
It's like right up there with like Shannon saying that like, Child Protective Services was going to come for like Gina's kids. Like, just don't go there. Like, don't insinuate that kids are being put in harm's way because of this show or someone bringing their kids on the show or whatever, whatever reason.
Yeah.
But also, like, don't talk about Giselle's daughters, like basically saying like they're
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That they're letting people know.
However, Mia should have just sat there and made like, screw you, Gizelle. Like, walking off. Like, Andy was so annoyed. You can tell. He hates a walk off, and it serves no purpose.
Yeah.
It was just very awkward, too, because he was like the clip plop out the door.
Well, he already did his part to like kind of talk her off the ledge.
Right. And he was doing his best. I think he was like, that's why he was just kind of like not even trying to stop her, because he was like, this is dumb. You'll be back. Mm-hmm. Although we see in the preview,
she's missing from spot number 1.
Yeah. And when he was like, let me just inch up here. I've been first seat since season 6.
Things you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of, it's disappointing. Like, I wish that wasn't such a huge...
We always say, like, sit there in your truth, but I guess if you don't have any truth to sit in...
Well, yeah. Sit there in your lies, your filthy, filthy lies.
But, like, it will eventually go on. Andy will move on to another subject. Just be like, don't talk about my kids. I won't talk about yours. Don't talk about mine.
Well, and Mia did apologize.
Yeah.
That was one of the things she apologized before the end of the season.
Yeah.
So for it to be brought back up and for Gizelle to be so venomous about it, like...
Well, Gizelle has said, like, on a radio interview that, Mia's dead to her.
Yeah.
So that's very
traumatic.
Yeah.
I meant to write notes because before all that came down, there was like quite a little funny, like the bunch of different video packets that they were doing.
Oh, the whole like they're talking about each other's clothes.
Yeah.
That was really cute. That was a nice little like. It was like, let's have fun before we get to like the Mia thing.
And then but all the accusing, like, no, you wore my dress first. No. It's like,
that was funny that Ashley wore Stacey's dress.
I thought Stacey wore it better.
Yeah.
I mean, Ashley wore it different. It didn't look bad by any means, but like
I liked it in Stacey.
I like to say Stacey was wearing it in more of a formal setting, whereas Ashley was wearing it more of like a cocktail.
Like she was hosting something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean,
although so was Stacey hosting the.
Yeah, but I think one was a night event, one was a date. I guess they were both night events because they had to get there by a certain time to the G&A. Anyway.
No, I like Stacey was quite funny. I love that again. Wendy was just like, and then she said, "F you, F that B."
Yeah.
It was like, and Stacey's like, "No, I did not." It's like, "Yes, you did. You said F that B."
And everyone was like, "Does Stacey talk like that?" Well, okay.
I elevated Vivian. You guys, I elevated her. That was right.
Yeah. No, I think that was a fun first half of the show. We learned a little bit more about Kay's current situation with Greg.
You're saying it was the most we've seen of Kay all season.
It kind of was. It was like for her to be able to actually like get her explanation out of like where they are. Like the rest of the season was just kind of ambiguous. Like they'd have scenes with her, but you were always kind of like, and so what does that mean? Like you never really knew where you stood with her and everyone else. So like I think she was able to explain, and Andy was definitely helping her out by being like, a lot of husbands come on the show and they don't realize how uncomfortable they'll be with it.
Right. And he's like, I even went up to him and said, this is hard. And so Greg would rather be anywhere else but there.
But then, I said, who was Wendy trying to help out with that same thing too, where she was saying that like
Mia with Ink.
Oh, right, for bringing Ink on the show.
Until Gizelle was like, no, Ink wanted screen time.
It's not. That's the other thing too. Like as a viewer, you're like, of course Ink wanted screen time. Of course, Mia brought him on and was like thinking, oh, this will be great for your career, your big personality, and then it'll make us look good, and we'll be together, and then,
Mia saw this going. Now we're back to Mia.
I know.
Mia saw this going as she got a lot of sympathy at the last reunion when Gordon talked about his diagnosis and like, what he put her through, et cetera, et cetera. And I think she thought like, it's going to go this way, and they're going to be like, oh, poor Mia, and now she's finding love with her best friend again.
Want some water?
Get that. I'm so verklempt.
I know, whatever is in your throat, you get that frog out of there. Everybody drink more water. We all need to.
Yes. Stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
She thought, like they all were saying, that it was going to go one way, and people were going to really be receptive of her. And with the Ink thing and the triangle, it's kind of messy. But Gordon is so unpredictable. And I'm surprised they didn't bring up the whole Gordon Greg.
Gordon and Greg?
When Gordon said like, Mia's lying. We had a paternity test.
Oh.
When he went out, that led to that whole thing of Karen confronting Mia at Ashley.
Oh, and Ray. I thought you said Greg.
Oh, I did say Greg. Sorry.
Okay, all right. I'm not insane.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ray. Okay.
Yes, Gordon and Ray, their lunch would led to the whole thing with Karen. Yes. Which you really need Karen there to like pop in and be like, and so they could.
Yeah.
So
it seems like Mia or Wendy was trying to help Mia at first.
Yes, I think she was, but like she also was like, I can't do bullshit, but I'm also your friend, but you're bullshitting us. Like the fact that she's like, they're all in on it. I think that would meant that like Mia was like, look guys, Gordon and thing, this is how it's gonna go, and da. And like Gordon is like, no, I'm not playing that, because he looks like the like he's a cuck.
Yeah, that's
like he's just like, I could see where it'd be a blow to his ego.
Now, let me ask you, did you know the word was cuck and you were just kind of afraid to like commit to it, or you're like, is that
I was gonna say heel.
A heel. Oh, he's such a heel, you guys. Oh, shucks. Did you go down to the hardware store yet and get the egg cream at the soda fountain? Oh, geez, such a heel. Sorry. Sorry. Well, no, cuck is the right word.
Yeah.
Sorry. I like how you just kind of locked eyes like, am I allowed to say that? Is that okay?
No, I was like, because I was going heel in my head, and I was like, no, I think I don't know what I was going to say, like the fool, the whatever.
Right.
I don't even think cuck is the word, because cuck would be like, he would be like, like watching this happen.
No, I mean, I think that just when you're like, I think there is a whole thing,
right.
A cuck, but no, I think, it's traditionally when you are married to a woman and she's not sleeping with you, she's sleeping with something else.
Right, but usually it's like you're enjoying the fact that you are the...
No, I think it's become that in a weird...
Okay, but normally it wasn't that.
Yeah, normally it's not that. Okay. I think the true definition...
Well, then you're just like the wronged party.
Yeah, you're kind of the idiot there going like, oh, I'm married to my wife, and you have no idea the entire time she's with someone else.
She's so great, she's awesome, really, she's cheating on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I think, when that scene between the three of them, when he's like, I look at you and I see someone who had adultery with my wife. You could tell Gordon was like fed up at that point, and he was like, I am not on board with this. So when Mia talks about like, oh, we were co-parenting just great, I'm like, when were you co-parenting just great? Her timeline is so weird, and like, I should have known we were never going to get like a really consistent timeline, because Mia's is like,
But again, we got back to Mia. We were talking about Wendy. Wendy was helping Mia out.
Right. She was helping me. Yeah, she was helping Mia out.
It all comes back to Mia.
It does. That's why Mia needs to...
I mean, Mia will. She should, right?
I don't know. Like, it's a lot of... It depends on like how much Bravo listens to social media.
Oh,
it's so funny the fact that they're all saying like you felt like social media turned on you. They all care so much about social media. They need to sit down and have like the talk they had with Tamara. Like, this is 1% of the entire audience, dude. 1, maybe 3%. Like, you can't like live and die on social media, because then you won't be authentic.
Right.
You're going to be playing for the audience. Like, Mia just needs to like be... Well, I think as I was saying earlier, when he said, if you didn't have this, what would you have? And Mia was like, a lot. And when he was like, no, you wouldn't.
I'm sure after, having to lose the chiropractic businessts and stuff. And
right.
That was like their income before the show.
She could have pivoted.
Yeah. But, it would be alarming and kind of fight or flight. Like, we have to make this work or else sort of panic. So
she should have stuck to, this is my story of like trying to co-parent with Gordon when he is not always, I don't know which way he's going to go with his mental health, but not throw that in a negative light.
Right.
Like, this is the reality.
And not have brought ink in on the situation.
Right. It should have been like completely Gordon, and like bringing ink into it just made it really messy.
I think it is interesting that all the husbands, I think like Eddie's the husband conduit. Like, everyone like texts him. He's the centerpiece of the husband side of things.
Because he's just so nice.
Right. And he probably has all the weed. No, because she was saying like ink texts with Eddie.
Or even like Stacey was saying like Eddie and TJ.
Yeah, well, clearly Eddie and TJ.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Back to Kay. It doesn't make sense what she was saying that, we're looking at rings, but I just bought my own place.
Yeah.
And I guess there are married people that live in different places and, don't necessarily live under the same roof, but...
Shirley Ralph.
Thanks for that. So I mean, we can't say that it's, who are we to say it won't work, but it seems like a weird thing to do.
Yeah, it's like you're headed, you moved in with them, now you're not, but you're talking about marriage, but you have your own condo, but you could always like rent out that condo.
Right, maybe she has her own condo for when they're filming, and then the rest of the season.
Well, here's the thing, it's like, is she going to be brought, I mean.
Who knows?
Look, I like Keiarna a lot, but she's not the most exciting housewife, but she's great. I see her more as a friend of. I don't see her full time, and so I wonder what her storyline would be if it's not with Greg and like, is he gonna give me a ring? Whatever.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe she'll. I don't know.
Because it can't be, I'm gonna whoop that girl who beat me, because that only goes so far.
No, you can only mollywop someone so many times.
What about Vivian? Like, I remember the season started, I was like, why isn't she a friend of?
But you can tell she was vying for that.
Yeah.
And it didn't go anywhere.
No, I'm wondering when did the fallout between Stacey and Vivian happen?
When she didn't give her that dress that she wanted. Yeah, like Stacey, I like petty, like snarky Stacey. She should show that. Like, when she confronted Karen, I really liked that version of Stacey. When she was like, no, I'm going to say exactly what Karen said. Like,
do you think this supports that maybe Stacey was being too fake? That she wasn't, like, she was trying to be controlled and measure out, like, especially with her and TJ. We're this happy. Oh, look at us.
Well, that's a whole other segment. I think, I don't think she's being fake. I think she's trying to portray one side of herself. And I think also coming from QVC, she's used to like putting on her hostess self. And I think she wasn't willing to get like in the whole F that bitch. Yeah. Like kind of like get down on that. I feel like she needs to go there.
Please, I believe you mean F that B. If we're going to be cleaning up our L, we need to make sure that we F
That's why I said F.
Yeah.
That's why I said F. Yeah, I'm not saying I need her to like be like, you know, ratchet, but I'm saying she should show all parts of her personality and not just be like, I'm just perky and nice. I think that's authentically her. But I think also she, you know, if you piss her off, i.e. Karen, i.e. Vivian, she will come at you hard. And I enjoy that. I can relate.
You hear on the other, sorry, don't mean to yawn. Oh, good.
Like Andy when Doritos.
Long weekend. I think we hear about, especially first-time housewives coming on the show, really hoping to kind of expand their brand.
Yes.
Or like, oh, it'd be good for the brand. And so that's where they think that like they can be a certain way, but then they don't until they're there. Like I think Wendy was saying, right? Like until you're in it, you don't know how this is going to be. So you come on trying to be a certain way, and then you know after you're there probably for a couple of years, or you know that's when you're like, okay, this is how it's going to go. Like,
right.
I can't control this. I'm just going to go with it.
And also, like, she left QVC to do this, and I think she was like, okay, this is like another presenting kind of opportunity, and not that she has like a brand to promote unless she comes out with her own weed next year, which will be, you know. But yeah, I think she was really trying to be like, this is who I am, and it wasn't like the entire picture.
Right.
So I think she needs to be, but I think she's really engaging and really fun and funny, intentionally or unintentionally. So I think, you know, she needs to like go with that and like, yeah.
You know who we haven't talked about yet?
Ashley?
Yeah.
I love when Wendy came at her. Like, that was so dumb. That was just so dumb. Like, you really hurt Josh's feelings. And when he's like, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, and he's a great young man. And when he's like, I love it. She's like, you came for my husband. Ashley is messy as hell and has come for so many people. So, like, one little, like, Jack Harlow comment, like, girl, bye. Girl, bye.
Yeah,
like, just like, I have no time for you, Ashley. I tolerate you.
And wasn't it also, was it Wendy apologizing to Mia, or maybe it was Stacey when she's like, I did say that. She didn't actually apologize. She's like, I did.
Oh, when she said, when Stacey was like, I was hurt when you said TJ was more interested in the trainer.
Oh, yeah.
And when he's like, I say that, I receive that.
But she didn't once say, I'm sorry for saying.
Yeah,
she's like, I hear you. Yeah, I hear how you could be upset about that.
Yeah.
But she's like, but I said it.
I said it. I stand by it. Came out of my mouth.
I see. That's the sort of like no F's given that I like to see on reunions. And if you could see that more so throughout the season, that would be fantastic.
Right. But like Wendy was just so like, I think she was very annoyed with that Ashley was making that a thing or trying to make it a thing. Oh, you hurt his feelings, and his friends were calling up and be like, oh, like she called him Jack Harlow, not Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. And it is a lateral move because I don't see him as like being any better than Michael. I'm sorry. Maybe better looking, but it was like, he's not a prize.
No.
Like,
I mean, he's no Scott.
He is not.
Here, I'm putting myself in a third person.
He's third person.
God, I just third person.
She'd be lucky to have a Scott. And she's got like poor man Jack Harlow with his sideshow bob hair.
I think it was middle school Jack Harlow.
It was middle school Jack.
So, but Ashley really didn't have much else going on other than agreeing with Gizelle on most episodes.
Yes, that was her. She's taking on that Robin role, and she's good with that. Giselle needs a buddy, and that's her gal.
Yeah.
G&A and their community outreach.
They talked about her drag show and what Ashley's family thought about it, and that was one answer. It was like, they supported me.
They loved it. My 77-year-old grandma
loved seeing my titties.
I mean,
I'm sorry, my TTs.
They were
cleaning up my L.
Everyone's T's were out. I love when they got up and like they were like, "Oh, I'm so squeezed into this dress." It's like, "Yes, you are, Keiarna. How are you breathing?" That's not comfortable. Your boobs are hurting.
I feel like between this and even with Salt Lake to an extent and New York, that all the reunions lately, like all the good stuff's going on between the filming.
Oh, so yeah, very much so. It's all in the hallway or like the dressing room.
So it's like, it hasn't always been like that. I wonder how many, they can't make this a thing every time. It's going to make the, like save the drama for when the cameras are rolling and, you know, don't give us such good juicy stuff between scenes.
Yeah, it's like we're seeing too much of how the sausage is made. Yeah. But if that, I mean, I think also to make this 3 parts, they had to like give us a lot of that.
That's true.
So without Karen, it wasn't going to guarantee to be a 3rd part.
I have to say in the next week previews that if I was in a room with someone who did what Wendy did to those women and be like,
I would
strangle her.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the F or whatever she was saying.
So
and it's like just say what's going on. Like, well, first off, like the way she says it is like, did like a plane just crash? Like
that's what they all. Yeah, they all look at her like, wait, should I be looking at my phone?
Right. Like, is something going on that we need to know about? But no, TJ called Eddie. That's how it's gonna go.
They all stop, like they're all like mid-stretch, like. Even Annie was like, excuse?
I also can't wait to see how much of a nothing burger, like the presentation
I think it'll
be a something burger, but I think that like when they reveal what Wendy says, it's just going to be kind of like, oh, TJ called Eddie. And like the way that it's going to fall out, it wasn't necessary of all of the quick lightning flash
and then like,
like and all the glitches like that, I don't think is necessary.
I mean,
it won't be necessary. I'll be vindicated.
I really hope it's not just like the obvious that we're all thinking that she was paying him to be her boyfriend. Also, I love that they referenced Kenya and Walter because I thought of that too. I think everyone thought of that.
Well, if I knew who Walter was.
It was Kenya's first second.
Either way.
First or second season. Anyways. And she brought Walter on the show as her boyfriend. And then like he went out and claimed that she paid him to be on the show. And she's like denied it to this day. But it did seem like you were not actually having a relationship. You just want someone for the show. So he was kind of like rent a boyfriend. And she never really got past that. But I hope it's not. I hope it's more of that because it seems so shocking to all of them.
But Stacey's going to have to answer to the accusation. And that's the thing. If she doesn't answer to it, if she's like, well, you guys.
And she's like, when they brought it up, and she's like, I don't know what to say to that.
Right. She didn't answer.
I was just like, you deny it.
Yeah.
Like you denied saying F that B 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have to find out.
I know. Was there anything else?
With Potomac? I don't think so. We did start watching that Robert De Niro show. We can talk about that.
No, I was
Oh yeah, I can't see the leads behind my head.
Oh no, we got into Gizelle, talked about her daughters, like reference Karen a little bit. That'll be more of that next week on the Mia of it all.
Okay. Do we have to have more Mia next week?
She's got to come back to the couch. Like,
do you think?
I hope she does.
I mean, if Sutton could just disappear out and...
Well, that was a health matter.
Well, Gizelle had to go with her. Garcelle. Oh, God.
Heaven forbid they ever get on, like,
I don't know,
Love Island or something. Yeah, girls trip.
They're both traitors someday.
I think
people actually write down the wrong woman's name.
They're like, oh, crap. No, that's not you. And it's like, ooh. Racism.
Yeah, whenever I do it, I'm like, no, I'm not that white guy.
No, you're not mistaking them. It's just the names are very similar. Yes. Gizelle and Garcelle.
Yeah, the same way that I, get cats' names mixed up.
Right, like Sutton's name could be Garcelle and you'd be the same thing. It's nothing to do with,
I hope not.
No.
Okay, good. But I think we talked about everyone. I think, next week's show will be good. Although does Atlanta premiere the following Sunday?
Following Sunday, yes.
Because I was telling Jeff, like, only having 2 shows to do a week is a little disappointing, especially because we do Beverly Hills on Tuesdays. Then we don't do Housewives show again until Sunday.
It is a big
long time to wait.
Well, like we were like also saying like it was a lot of Housewives when it was like the 4 of them.
I want my cake and I want to eat it too.
Look, it's going to be a while before we can eat all the cake because it's just going to be those 2. Even if they bring back Miami, it's going to be a minute.
Maybe we'll do the stupid Love Hotel.
Yes, no, I think we should.
We should?
For sure.
We'll see. I mean, it might not be awe-inspiring at all.
Well, like it's probably going to be like 6 episodes at the most, so it's not going to like be a full thing. But yeah, we should talk about it.
If it's ridiculous enough, we'll do it. If it's a little too like preposterous, I might be like,
It could be a very,
amount.
it could be a very, I think we should do it. It'll be a very quick little show. It will fill a void because, I mean, I assume it'll happen around the same time as the other two being on Atlanta and Beverly Hills. Yeah. But I don't know. They said it's coming soon.
We'll give it a try. Like, I don't think we would have done Crappy Lake had we had the podcast going then.
No. Well, that was just not a good show.
It wasn't a bad show. It was entertaining, but the premise wore thin real fast.
Really thin. We had talked about doing The Valley, but I think that's a whole other animal.
Yeah.
And we just really enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
We don't need to, like, podcast it as well.
We'll see. Maybe season 2 will feel like it.
It's supposed to be really good.
And also, I think the world needs to know how much you hate Janet. Or dislike her.
Dislike. I don't hate anybody. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, just talking about it. I mean, you're right. We got to see how she, defends herself now that she's not pregnant. She can't blame everything on like, oh, you came at me when I was pregnant.
You threatened my child.
Oh God, no.
That was just so.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna do it. No, we'll have to figure that out.
We shall see. See.
Well, then I guess we wrap up this one. Thank everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please follow us, like, and subscribe.
Comment on the comments.
Yeah, tell us if you like the Oscars.
We're going to have the Oscars. So we're having our friends over at the Oscars next week.
Oh.
We need to promptly leave at 8 so we can watch Potomac because I really want to know what this whole team is.
All right. Well, we'll kick their asses out the minute the Oscars
Take your cookies and go.
And leave some cookies.
Yes.
Yeah, but get your ass out of here.
Yes.
And on that note, we'll talk about it next time.
Until next time.